conversation that says I've embraced the Sith. We've gone a little dark today. I think the sign looks cooler a little too. That was honestly why I did it. Vote on this, yes or no, Fred, since you brought it up, or Chris brought it, I don't remember. Up or down? Better or worse?
No on that. Yep.
Cool. Looks good. All right, I'm gonna hit the record button. What's going on, Facebook? How's everybody doing out there today? Good one coming in today. We're going to talk about how to get clients for free using nothing but Facebook outreach, something that I think a lot of you guys probably need to do, right? This is entirely focused, this program, by the way, this VIP, this Diamond Club, on getting to know, like, and trust us, getting high ticket access to people every single week, and learning how to get your first couple of clients for your marketing agency through these strategies and how to maybe fulfill them a little bit. If you want to learn how to actually do the thing for them, if you want to learn how to get more clients in that, then that's where the inner circle comes in, where you get all of our assets. A lot of you VIP people lately have been talking about, where do I get that script you're showing? Where do I get that contract template? Where do I get a VSL template, a video structure? All that stuff exists over in the inner circle for you once you get to that point. But what you're here for right now is to get your first couple of clients, to get past the point of setting up a real foundational agency and then getting your first couple of clients without having to dump a bunch of money on ads, without having to do too much of that stuff. So hopefully that's why you're all here. If you need more help than that, please reach out to us so that we can get you the rest of that stuff. If you're out there right now in the group, in either of the Facebook groups, and you've been on the sideline, you've been like, wow, this Diamond Club looks kind of cool. Wow, look at all these very important looking people that I see every single week beside Cody and Rahul. And you're wondering, maybe I should do that too. And you've been on the sidelines. This is the last, I think, 5 days is left on the timer. 4 days, actually, I just looked at it now, that you can get it for this price. If you want to try the first month for $7 and you want to have only pay $47 a month thereafter, this is the last 4 days you're going to be able to do that for. This is not a drill. This is not a joke. We are revamping the course material. We're adding more stuff to it. We're giving everybody a little bit more shit. And what comes along with that, and along with the fact that we also have hundreds of people inside of it now, we want to make sure we can service everybody, is that we need to raise the price. So the price will be doubling, okay, in about 4 days. So if you want to grab it, click the link up above in the text, or drop a hashtag VIP or whatever, so that you can sit with us directly, get face-to-face coaching every single week, but also so that you can get our hyper-focused course, Agency Foundations 2.0, which will be getting a complete revamp in the next week, that is entirely focused on helping you create the foundational setting for creating a digital marketing agency, and also how to do stuff just like what we're going to be talking about today. Go out and get your first few clients to actually make some money. If that's you, if you've been stuck, if you started an agency, quote unquote, or if you have wanted to do one and you don't know how to get clients, and you don't know, you need somebody to show you insights every single week, get your questions answered, can't afford the bigger programs, you can't do all that shit, this is where you want to be. So if you want to do this for this price, you get the $47 a month price right now. You'll be grandfathered into it forever, for as long as you actually want to be. You got to do it now. So click the link up above, drop a hashtag VIP, grab this stuff, get in here, and my team will get you onto this call ASAPually. So before we dive, after that, if you got all that settled, we're going to dive into today's training. Big drum roll training. Cool. Today, we are going to be talking about Facebook outreach, how to get clients for free using nothing but Facebook outreach. And this will work for anybody. I've had people use this for their real estate business. I've had people use this for their coaching business, their agency business, their HVAC business. It turns out you can use this kind of strategy for anything. We're going to hyper focus, as always, on SMMA marketing agencies for this, but you can use this strategy for any type of business to go out and get clients. And it really comes down to a few simple steps. If you watched any of our Perfect Stranger Method trainings, you'll probably understand these, but we're going to do a simplified version of this. So how to get clients for free using Facebook outreach. Okay, a couple of things we want to do. Number one, we got to build audience. Okay, how do we do that? All right, build audience. Number one, we're going to do that by adding 30 to 50. We're going to make this number 2, actually, because we got to do first, we got to create our Facebook hunting grounds. Two, build audience, targeted friends every day. And I'm going to first list all this stuff out. And then after this, immediately we're going to go over and I'm going to screen share some Facebook. You're going to see how we would do this if I was doing this right now today. Add 30 to 50 targeted new friends per day. Engage in targeted Facebook groups daily. What this does is it provides exposure. Okay, so if I go into high level today and I answer a few questions, I post a few links. For instance, I'll do this usually at least once or twice a week still myself, or I'll have my setter go do it. Yesterday, I found a few posts mentioning YouTube. I posted a link for my YouTube channel. I got 20 plus new subscribers and we had a VIP sale from it, from the links underneath the YouTube videos, etc. I also engaged on a couple of posts that happened. I got like 10 new followers from it just from doing that stuff. So now I'm getting targeted audience from engaging in the targeted groups because I'm providing value, I'm saying shit, I'm answering questions, that kind of stuff in that specific thing. Number 3, now we're going to do cold, or we're going to send 30 to 50 targeted outbound messages per day. Okay, and this is where we have to remember, what are we doing? We're earning our way to hot conversations. What that means is, we got cold, those are the strangers. We got warm, these are our friends, or if we have one, our Facebook group members. And then we've got hot, which is our inbound DMs and also content engagement, which leaves us to 4, post daily content. Now you'll notice a lot of this stuff, right, is really fueling the engine. If we say the perfect stranger method, the organic prospecting method, the stuff we're talking about right now is a car, is an engine, right? A lot of this stuff is fueling it. Because what do we want? We want to probably have 30 to 50 of these conversations all day. Who thinks their life would be better? Raise your hand, drop a 1 in the chat or a 1 in the comments if all 30 people that we had to send message to every single day were in this category. We're hot. Drop a 1 in the chat or raise your hand or drop a 1 in the comments if you think that would be better. Right. Of course it would be. And there's plenty of people out there that are you're gonna buy these courses and they're gonna say, you know, you can do this much money, make this much money organically without ever having to send a cold DM ever again in your life. And what the courses are basically gonna tell you is to sit on your ass and fuel the engine for a while, and eventually you'll start to notice. Like if I go over to my profile right now, right? And I say, cool, well, I did a post on my profile, a 2-step post. So if I scroll down to this, right, not this one, this was a value reel, but if I go to here, it's like, cool, well, I got this. So if we say half of these are mine or my setters because I'm responding to all these comments, that means we have about 140 people, right? So cool. I did one post and I got 3 days worth of hot conversations I could have, right? So that it is possible. The problem is when you're first starting out, and I've been using this Mr. Beast quote recently because he's just relevant lately because he's all over everything, right? You got to be willing to post your first 100 videos and get nothing. So you just get out there and do the thing. Just get out there and post your first 100 videos. Be okay with the fact that they're all going to fucking suck. But your point is you're going to be incrementally improving every single time. This post that you see where I earned 50 hot conversations per day now without needing to go to cold strangers is the after effect of years worth of refining my messaging, building my audience, and doing the rest of the fueling up the car. So while it would be obviously amazing to never have to talk to a stranger and everybody knows us, where you guys are at right now, who here needs to make money like this month? Who needs a client this month? You want a client this month or do you want to wait 3 or 4 months? Put it in the chat. You want a client this month or in the comments out below? Want a client this month or do you want to wait 3 or 4 months to fuel the engine to start getting those conversations going to maybe get a client then? This month, today, William says, right? Now, this month, exactly, right? So if that's the case, you don't have time to sit around and wait for the warm people and the hot people to come to you yet. You're going to get some of them by posting good content, right? If you're posting content daily, you'll get a couple of content engagements for the hot stuff. If you're adding targeted friends every single day, you'll slowly start to build up your warm list. But we have to earn our way to those hot conversations by doing the thing every single day. Until then, we got to talk to strangers. We got to go out there and send messages to strangers, okay? So that means the first thing I've got on that list is I got to build my hunting grounds. How would I do that? What I would do is and I'm building out a niche guide right now for the GSD and stuff on here. So what I would do is I'm just going to use this as an example. I would just take this as a spreadsheet inside of a Google Sheet. I would come over here and I would say, cool, these are my hunting grounds. So I want to have Facebook groups. I want to have Facebook searches. I want to have, what else could we do? Facebook pages, let's say. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, cool, well, what's my niche? Let's just pick one together right now. So most common niches that we have listed out here that people do really easily work, and you can really get easy success of these types of niches. Let's say HVAC. Let's say roofer, general contractor, PI lawyer. Let's just pick one. Mortgage brokers. Let's just say mortgage brokers. That'd be the easier one here. So we go up here to the search bar. This magic little thing where Mark Zuckerberg basically spent billions of dollars in 20 years building you the perfect database of all your clients. So if I say mortgage broker and I hit enter, now I've got the different hunting grounds right here. So I can go group, and I can go, cool, mortgage professionals, mortgage and finance solutions, BC, this is where I live, mortgage brokers. If you want to get local with it, right, you'd say, okay, well, let me join this group. I grab the link, put it over here, put it under Facebook groups, right? And you've got the link there for it. Then you'd also join it, and you'd go and you do that for as many as you can. Then you'd come over here and you'd hit people. Cool. Then you say, cool, well, did this search result get me people? Works at mortgage broker. Cool. Make sure you can actually go for a little bit. So it's actually a good search that keeps scrolling. Good. Mortgage broker. Perfect. Look at that. Grab this link. Come over here. Put it in searches. Awesome. Click over here. Work on pages. Right? Then say the same thing. Grab that link. Put it over there. Then you could do something like loan officer, right? You're just trying to figure out now what are all the different variations on mortgage broker, mortgage professional, all these different things that I could do for searches. And you could also go into different, you use the same term and do city, right? You get all these search results. And what's the point of getting all these search results? It's so that you can never sit there and say to anybody ever again, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go to find my next conversation. Put this mic over here. I don't know where to go to find my next conversation. I don't know where to go to find my next person that I'm supposed to talk to hit the numbers I can do. When you build out your hunting grounds like this, that's never the issue. You get rid of that excuse entirely. The only excuse that's left from there on out is that you're not willing to do the uncomfortable thing. I don't want to send the messages. Okay, well, then you don't deserve to get the clients. You don't want to do the thing to earn your way to hot conversations. You don't want to do the uncomfortable thing that's to actually go out there and talk to strangers and try to find business and refine your messaging. Then entrepreneurship isn't for you. 9 times out of 10, the people who have made it way further, you're watching their chapter 30 and you're comparing it to your chapter 1. On their chapter 1, they had to do the hard shit. I know Rahul did. I know I did. I used to have to open up this old thing that they don't use anymore, really called the Yellow Pages book, and actually just peel through it until I found realtors, and I would cold dial those people, and pretty much every one of them would either not pick up, tell me to go to hell, or ask me what Facebook was, because this is like 2011. So they didn't really, they were like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What's a book, and why you want my face on it? Right? So it's a different world now where all you have to do is use the thing in front of you, the tool that you're good at, to get out there and put it into place so that you don't have to worry about that again. So we got the hunting grounds. Cool. Now we want to build audience. All right. So now we go to our hunting grounds, right? So I come over here and I say, cool. Well, I click on, let's say for us, it's high level because we work with agencies. So I go to the high level group because there's a group, it's 50,000 people. Cool. I want to build my audience. So I can do 2 things. One, I can click on members. I can add them as friends. I do not send them a message that says, hey, we're the same group and it's amazing and I'm your fucking friend, because that's the spammiest message of all time. And everyone's been doing it for 5 years, and you're probably going to get banned from the group because they'll send it to the people. Just add them as friends. Let them see your content and then engage with them once they've done the thing, right? The other thing I can do if I want to avoid that is I can go, cool, I'm going to say S marketing, digital marketing agency, right? And I click on people. And I say, okay, cool, here, look at all the digital marketing agency owners. I can add them all as friends. Cool. So I do that 30 times, right? And I do it not as a robot. I just 1, 2, 3, come back in a couple of minutes, do more, all of that. Good. Then the next day I come back, I do it again. Then I check to see, okay, cool, have any of these people accepted my friend request, or do I have more friend requests here? Cool. I click on friend requests, right? And I'm like, okay, cool, I've got all these. This is my wait list. And you can see the sent ones. You can see where they've actually accepted it or not accepted it. Like, okay, cool, go back here. look at my friends list and see how many new friends do I have. Do I recognize any of these peeps? Cool. Let's say, okay, cool. So these people have all accepted my stuff. So then we go in, we click, and we say, good, these are warm. We send a message. So first thing I do is I check for, do I have any engagement on my content? I do. I've got 63 people that liked it. I can message those people. Thanks for engaging on my content. I've got 260. I mean, in this situation, it's an actual lead magnet. So I've got all these people I can actually send the message to, right? So I can say, cool, thanks for engaging on my content, and then send a message or open that up, or I can send a bunch of messages to the people who actually have the lead magnets. And then if I run out of that, I can go to friends here, right? So if you're trying to send 30, say we got 10 engagement, and we come over here and I'm like, all right, well, I've got, looks like 20 new friends added to, okay, cool. Then I got to go do some strangers. And then I go back to this. I go to my hunting grounds, I click on searches, and I start messaging the strangers. Okay. So we start sending out the messages. We're building up an audience. We're doing all of this kind of stuff. All of these things that did not used to exist, by the way, when I started a business. That's why we had to go through the yellow pages and just hope that some of them made sense. Then we go here and we click on this and we say, all right, now if I go to, you're wondering to yourself, I'm just trying to find a student folder that has a script in it so I can show you guys kind of like what to say, right? I'm not going to give you guys a script, but you get the idea. So a lot of these cold ones is where you're going to be, right? You just want to run something by you for a sec, or you look at their profile and you say, it looks like I used one of these as an example in one of the things that we did recently. Where was it? It was in here. I did an example script. Yeah, here it was. This is the one that we did the other day. So we went to a real estate's page, on the Perfect Stranger masterclass that we did. We went to one of their pages, a mortgage broker or a real estate person's page, and we saw that they were trying to sell a motel. So they had a listing on there for a long time that hadn't sold. They'd reposted it 2 or 3 times. And so you could use that kind of content, right? So instead of looking at this and say, look at the profile, see you're an OG, love what you said about this, I agree, right? You take it and you say, cool, well, this real estate agent's been trying to sell this motel for a long, long time. I should try to help them sell the motel, right? Okay, cool. So I could say, cool, saw you've been trying to sell a couple of motels for a while. Did you ever end up getting rid of those? Then you can progress the cut. Nah, man. Hey, oh no, because they'll probably think you're interested in the motel. No, sir, they're still for sale. They're still for sale. Awesome, right? Are you actually happy right now with the amount of new distressed sellers? Or I would even say for this guy specifically, be like, oh, cool, man. That's too bad. What is it that's keeping it from selling? Is there anything wrong with it? Right? You develop a conversation with them based on any of these intros. You're just trying to start a conversation, build a tiny bit of rapport, so that when you go and you say something like, hey, do you mind if I ask you a weird biz question real quick? Do you mind if I say something else real quick? They're going to be less likely to just shrug you off and say no, because now you've built a tiny bit of rapport with them. You've created, I always call it the shrug yes, right? If you go right in for the beginning where you're like, hey, do you mind if I ask you a quick business question real quick? Or hey, do you do that, this, and the other, right? They'll just ignore that shit because it's like, fuck this. But if you've been talking to the guy for a minute and then you say, it's like, I know this guy a little bit. Fine, I'll say yes. It's like the guilty yes. They don't want to say yes, but you got them to say it. Now you can get to the next part of the conversation, right? At that point, you start asking the business questions. You start going, okay, cool. Well, are you happy with this kind of thing? If you were able to fix this, that, and the other thing, or if you go over here, you see like something like this, like when it comes to your biz, what is the piece that would be the biggest game changer for you? Quality leads, pre-qualified buyers, more distressed. You want to give them options, right? So you get to that point where you're giving them options that you have a solution for. As an agency, you're going to be able to get them quality leads. You're going to be able to help them connect with more distressed sellers. For this guy specifically, if you've looked at their profile, right, and they're trying to sell that motel, you get to the point where he says, I just can't find any buyers for it, or the market is kind of turned down right now, or the leads just aren't matching up with what I need to do at this moment. You can now direct the conversation like, hey, we actually have a bunch of stuff that's been working for some other clients that I think might actually be able to help you get that listing sold. Do you think you could, would you be open to listening to that? And if we took like maybe 5 minutes, right? I think this thing down here says something good on this. Let me show you this part of the script that would be good over here. Yeah, if I could show you how my system does XYZ result for businesses, or has achieved XYZ result for other realtors in your exact situation, would you be open to watching this 7-minute video Or you could say, would you be open to a really, really quick 5-minute conversation just to see if it matters at all to you? Right. But it's those transitionary parts, understanding that when we're talking to people and doing these cold outreach things, understanding that the 3 most important parts are A, what is my opener and am I getting response rates? B, are people continuing the conversation in the middle? And then C, are they actually booking in? And understanding those are your 3 places where you're going to come up across bottlenecks and what you need to improve and all of that stuff. If you start to really understand that and utilize just these kind of things that we just showed in the script, right, you'll be able to make that work. All of this kind of making sense, guys, so far? Drop a 1 in the chat if this is registering so that I'm not just talking to myself. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Good. Good, right? So far we've gone over do your hunting grounds, build your audience, fuel the engine, and then start doing the dirty work. I'll tell you what, 9 times out of 10, people drop off here, and then they wonder why they can't get clients. You want to make more sales? Guess what you got to do? You got to make more offers. You got to start more conversations. You got to get more people to see what you do. You could have the best product ever, the best service ever. You could be the best marketer on the planet for whatever niche it is that you're working in. But if nobody sees that, you're going to fail. A business, and I've run a few of them, and we're really good at what we do, but a business can't survive without having a consistent influx of new eyeballs, new attention, and new business. That's why one of my favorite sayings that Rahul always says, when everything's going well, sales above all else. When everything's going bad, sales above all else. Because it is something that I try to drill now into every GST student's head, is that no matter how good you are or how good you do, sometimes factors out of your control means you're going to get fired from your clients. If you have 1 or 2 clients and you're just happy with that and you don't do any prospecting, you stop the engine. It takes a lot to get that thing revved back up, the momentum to come back up. Because when you're doing what we're telling you to do right now, which is add a bunch of friends, you're going to notice I added 50 friends, only 2 of them accepted me. Yeah. But if you go to tomorrow and the next day and the next day, all of a sudden 5 days in, you're getting 10 people accepting every single day, even though it's just 2 from every one of the days that you've done, because it's just kind of snowballing in. You start sending messages every single day. You're like, man, I know everybody ignored me. I got no response rate. All of a sudden at the end of the week, you're having a couple of conversations. The next week, you're having a handful of conversations. And then by the time the month is over, you've got so many conversations going, you don't know what to do with, which is what happened with the GST student the other day. She said she had 172 people to reply to. All of a sudden, she didn't know. I was like, cool. Remember when you had none? Remember when the issue was, I don't know how to find people to talk to, and I don't know how to go get business. And now you're closing $2,000 a month deals, and you've got 170 people to do, and that's your new problem, right? That's the kind of problem you want to have. So you go through these phases where you're like, I don't know what to do. The thing to do is to find more business always. And you got to live by the 80-20 rule when you're a younger agency like this, which is, I have so many versions of the 80-20 rule. I just love that number for testing and for doing everything else. But when you're a young agency, you're trying to get your first handful of clients, what you need to be doing is spending 80% of your time prospecting no matter what, 20% of your time fulfilling or building and doing all the other shit. But what everybody does almost without fail is they get their first client and now they spend all their time trying to fulfill and make them perfect. And I could go do outreach, but I gotta solve this thing. No, you're flopping it around, because now when that client inevitably fires you, what are you going to do? You're going to start the engine all back up? No. Plus, it's usually just procrastination. I mean, most people will do anything other than prospecting and sales. You'll spend months building a funnel, a script, a video, an outreach script, hiring 20 mentors, doing a bunch of shit, watching every YouTube video in existence, just because you're like, I could make it a little better, middle bit, and all of a sudden you went from September all the way to July, and then you launch your product and the market actually doesn't give a shit, and you failed and you wasted a whole year. Because the uncomfortable thing is to go talk to people, go put that out in front of people, because that's where you could fail. And that's the difference between most people that will do the thing and succeed and the people that won't. So what I want you guys to do is commit to the fact that, does this make sense? First, let's start with that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you think if you did this every day, you could go out and get clients for free using Facebook outreach. If you did it every day for a month, even just 1 month, a 30-day commitment, do you think at the end of 30 days you'd have a client or 2? Drop a 1 in the chat or a 1 out in the comments if that makes sense and you think you could do it. Good. So based on your own agreement of what you just put in the chat, the only thing that's holding you back, literally the only thing that's holding you back, is your willingness to wake up every single day, lean into doing this shit that's going to make you uncomfortable, and just do it. Is that right? Does everybody agreement with that? I mean, you all just said that to yourselves, right? So what I want you to do is just do the fucking thing. And, get some shit done so that we can come back in 30 days and talk about how all of you guys have clients, because as of your own admission, you've got the thing that you need to do to go make that happen. And because you're in the VIP and the Diamond Club with us, you've got insight and some coaching to help you fix a bottleneck along the way. So hopefully that helps, guys. Make sure that we get out there and do that. If you're out there in Facebook land, one more time, the price is doubling on the VIP as of next week, as of exactly 4 days from now. 2 of those days are a weekend. So you probably won't hear a word from me, and there's not going to be anything telling you. And then all of a sudden it's going to be over. So if you've been looking at the emails that have been coming through and you've been listening to the posts and you've been seeing it, I know a bunch of you guys have hopped on over the last week or so. If you do not get this, this is not a false scarcity tactic. This is us giving everybody who wants to get in time to get in before we double it, because we need to double it. That's literally it. So drop a hashtag VIP or just click the link directly up above this post if you want to get into the lower price range of $47 a month, which is also, by the way, cancel anytime, all that shit. If you want to get into that before it's gone and be grandfathered into that price point, you got to do it now. So click the link, grab it, or hashtag VIP if you've got questions, and my team will be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we're going to hop over. Unless, Rahul, do you have anything? I guess I didn't even give you space to breathe today.
No, I mean, you pretty much got like an hour of content in 26 minutes. You're talking a little speedier, especially with that coffee there. It's got to be number 4, I think. I'm guessing you're on number 4. But no, you covered it all. Save my content for the VIP area.
Cool. All right. Well, then I guess with that, guys, we'll hop over into the VIP room where we get to spend time with very important people and they get their coaching session. If you want to be a part of that, you got to click the link and buy it. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one next week.